everybody, welcome back to my next tutorial on Android framework components. And by the way, this is Dimple here. So every one of us will be using smartphones, and by now most of us will be running on Android 10, that is Android Q. So we have to know few new features being introduced in Android by Google. So in today's session, I'll be discussing some of the Android 10 behavioral changes made by Google. So let's get started. The first feature is scoped storage was introduced in Android 10 onwards. So what does this scoped storage do? What are the advantages of this scoped storage? Okay, so the advantages are it will help in improving security. So developers should have control over the files their apps create. Scoped storage provides better app data protection because other apps can't access these files easily. So every app developer, sometimes there may be a need where one app needs some file which is used by the other app, basically file sharing between two apps. So such restrictions will be removed. Okay, file cannot be shared between two different applications. That is the intention of scoped storage for security purposes. And also it reduces leftover application data. When a user uninstall an application from their device, some of the data remains in the shared storage. Okay, with the introduction of scoped storage concept, this problem will disappear. So whenever you uninstall an application, all the files, images, audio, video, everything related to that particular application will be deleted. It will not be shared with any other app, or it will not be stored anywhere. Okay, so when you delete an app, all its related data will be deleted. Limiting the abuse of read external storage permissions. So using scoped storage, apps can access their own files or folders. Okay, every time every time we used to write app, we used to declare this read external storage permission in the Android manifest file. Okay, because it has to access the SD card or the file stored in that SD card. That has been stopped now, since every app will have their own files. Next feature is faster updates, fresher code. So Android A10 is built for faster updates through Project Treble. Okay, it provides consistent interface between the Android and the underlying device code from the device makers and silicon manufacturers. Another fresher code, how it will happen is Android 10 is also the first release to support Project Mainline. In my previous videos, I have explained what is Project Mainline, what are the advantages of Project Mainline. So due to Project Treble, we get faster updates, and due to Project Mainline, we get the fresher code always running on our device. The next feature is foldable devices. So foldable devices, you all might be observing nowadays it's becoming more trendy, right? So building on robust multi-window support, Android A10 extends multitasking across app windows and provides screen continuity, okay, to maintain your app state as the device folds and unfolds. So foldable devices more and more are becoming trendy from Android 10 onwards. Android 10 supports for foldable devices because it has made a number of improvements in on resume and on pause method. Okay, when you fold the device, when you open the device back, how this on resume, on pause should behave, all this has been designed by Google. It also changes how the resizable activity manifest attribute work. A resizable activity, that is when you fold and unfold the device. To help you manage how your app is displayed on the foldable and large screen. So basically few improvements have been done in few methods, and the resizable activity has been changed. And also one more important feature is for Android A10 devices, if you choose in the emulator in the Android Studio, you will get a foldable emulator. That is one new introduction by Google, so that we can develop apps and see how it works on a real folding device. Next feature is Smart Reply in Notification. So Android 10 uses on-device machine learning to suggest contextual actions in notification. So it will use smart replies or opening a map for an address in the notification. You all can see, right? Based on the message John has sent, the automatic replies have been generated. Okay, we can still supply your own replies. You can just use this, or if you want you can go ahead and customize it more. Just opt out of smart reply on a per notification basis using set allow generated replies and set allow system generated contextual action. So these two APIs you have to use. Set allow generated replies, that is automatic reply you're enabling, and set allow system generated contextual actions. These two APIs if you use, you will get this smart reply in notifications in the apps you develop. Next is improved biometrics. So Android 10 extends the biometric prompt framework to support passive authentication methods such as face and adding implicit and explicit authentication flows. So more security has been added for face recognition, fingerprint recognition, all the biometric related things. So it improves the fallback for device credentials whenever needed. Next feature is Android 10 provides more privacy for users. So earlier what used to happen, if we want to give any permission to a particular app like location permission or storage permission, we used to get only two options, either allow or disallow, right? So here it has been made more secure now. You can see here, right? Allow all the time now to access the device location. So pizza delivery is an application, it wants to access your device location. So there are three different options: allow all the time, allow only while using the app, or deny. Okay, so allow all the time means every time, even if your app is in background or foreground, the permission is always given. And allow only while using the app means only when your application is in foreground that particular permission is being given. Okay, protecting location data in network scans, that is also a feature provided by A10. Preventing device tracking, and most of the times our device was tracked by using MAC address or IMEI number, right? So all such things have been have no more supported, because always those those IDs will remain standard, right? So using those tracking a device have been reduced a bit. So securing user data in external storage and blocking unwanted interruption. Unwanted interruption in the sense like when an app is running in the background, if it unexpectedly jump to the foreground, it will take over the focus from another app which is in foreground. So such unwanted interruptions have been blocked. Next feature is dark theme. You can see here dark theme. So Android 10 adds a system-wide dark theme that's ideal for low light and helps save battery life. Okay, so users can go to settings and enable dark theme. So app compacts day night feature is there. It will offer themes for users on earlier versions of Android. Next one is gesture navigation. So most of y'all might be using this feature already. You can see here this navigation bar. So there is no more back, home, recent apps button from Android 10. There is an option, if you want you can enable it through settings. And also there is an additional feature called gesture navigation. So whichever you want, if you want the old method to follow, you can still use that. If you want the latest gesture navigation feature, you can use it, where through this gesture bar you can go to back, or you can switch from each app to the other app, recent apps, and you can navigate to the home screen. So to implement this feature, you should be using set system UI System UI visibility API should be used. It should be laid out full screen and then handle window insets as appropriate to ensure that important pieces of UI are not obscured. So that was about gesture navigation feature. And next we will see directional zoomable microphones. So Android 10 gives you more control over audio capture through a new microphone direction API. Okay, you can use the API to specify a preferred direction of microphone when taking an audio recording. So when you're recording some audio, you can also give a preferred direction to a microscope. For example, when the user is taking a selfie video, you can request the front facing microphone for the audio recording. So condition is that the microphone, front facing microphone, should be present in your device. That's it. Additionally, this API introduces a standardized way of controlling zoomable microphones, allowing your app to have control over the recording field dimension. So this feature is catchy, right? Zoomable microphone, directional microphone. Next feature is that wet or overheating USB warnings. So whenever your USB port is wet or whenever your USB port has been overheated, the Android 10 operating system has intelligence to notify the user. Okay, so suppose it is wet, okay, it will warn the user, and all the connected accessories will not be working, they will not be enabled until you until the device makes sure that the USB port is no longer wet. Okay, so this is the new USB related functionality. Next important feature is focus mode. So one of the prominent user facing Android 10 features is focus mode, which is an extension of digital well-being suite. As the name itself suggests, this mode will help you focus by graying out the apps you deem distracting and hiding their notifications. So you can organize your apps. Okay, so you can separate your apps when you're working on some important work. You can stop these apps distracting you by their notification. So these apps will hide their notifications when you enable the focus mode. So Google has already offered parental tools via Family Link app, but out of the box support is welcome nonetheless. Next feature is Wi-Fi sharing via QR code. So most of the time, how do we share Wi-Fi from one device to the other, or from one AP to the other device? How do we share? We just go to the settings Wi-Fi, we enter the password manually, and we make sure authentication is completed, after which the Wi-Fi will be connected, right? But here, Google has introduced a new feature where if you scan a barcode, okay, QR barcode, Wi-Fi will be connected between two devices. So already there are Xiaomi and Huawei smartphone manufacturers which have used these features developed by Google. So this feature is very easy to use. You tap on Wi-Fi connection, hit share button, authenticate with your phone's password or fingerprint. You should see a QR code and your friend can scan this QR code to gain access. Okay, there is nothing new for third-party brands, but we are happy Google is catching up in this regard. So yes, those were the prominent important features introduced by Google in Android 10. Okay, so I hope this was informative to everyone. Thanks everyone for your time. I'll see you all soon in my next tutorial. Until then, everyone, take care. Bye.